Good morning and hello, I'm Professor Cohen. This is the Forex Supermodel Racing Review for Wednesday the 14th of September 2022. Quick look at yesterday's results then for Tuesday the 13th. Red car on the flat and the 218. We only got 3 horses in that race, believe it or not. And we still didn't get the winner. We were on the FTO, first time outer, once a day, came 5th at 11 to 1. We got 7.5 to 1. So the execution was relatively poor. There's a drift on that. Easy Jane Grey, we got 3 to 1 on that, and that came 7th at 11 to 4, so slightly better. But it did drift initially, so we could have done even better than that. And the one we really liked was this Dark Crusade, which came 3rd at 13 to 2. So that drifted. We got 9 to 2 on that. Excuse me. And we had £2 per £8 unit on that. £1 and £1, giving us £4, 0.5, half a unit exposure, maximum half a unit exposure on that. So the account came down again, plus 67 units roughly in profit overall. So what happened there then? Well, Dark Crusade, which is the one we liked. Remember, this was red car. It was it's very fast. Grabbed the rail, charged down the rail, presumably looking for better ground down the rail. And it looked like it was going to make all at one point, and then just got tied up towards the end. Where is it? Belcito won at 9 to 2, and Thank You Appreciate was second at 13 to 8. We didn't think much to those horses, and we still don't think much to them. But Dark Crusade looked like it was a good thing, and just couldn't hang on. Probably slightly overcooked the pace. Maybe the rail wasn't as good going as they thought, the jockey, but it was worth a go. They're obviously trying, and the rail quite often gives them something to run against, obviously, an unimpeded sort of push, and the ground can quite often be a little bit different by the rail. It drains better. So anyway, it didn't happen. So the losing run continues, and so the account's down to about 67 units in profit overall. So we'll stop it there and write up today's racing. Right, we're back. We've written up today's racing then for Wednesday the 14th of September. No filter 1, which is our structural filter, no ratio, but we have an alternate at Yarmouth on the flat of the 430. It's a nursery handicap, class 4, 2-year-old, 0 to 85, 1 mile 3 yards, good to soft. What do we know about Yarmouth 1 mile? It's a straight mile. It's model 95. Lingfield and Dundalk on the all-weather are 96, just slightly quicker. Kempton and Newcastle on the all-weather 95, which is a match. Wolverhampton 93, fair bit slower, and Chelmsford and Southall 92, quite a bit slower again. So it's at the top end of the speed. It's a straight mile. It's going to be tempered a little bit by good to soft. We'll talk about that in a minute. There's 3 horses in the race. The likely favourite is this XJ Rascal, number 1. What do we know about that? Well, it's had 5 runs. It started off at Brighton, 6 furlong maiden, which is quick, modelled 99. It stalked and it hung. Didn't like the pace. And then Carlisle, 6 furlong novice, model 95. It was mid-division and 1 paced. And then Goodwood, 28th of the 7th. It went into a race there, and it was basically that was a handicap after 2 runs. So it went into a decent handicap after 2 runs, and that was model 95. Slowly away, easy trip and faded. And then it went to Doncaster on the 4th of the 8th. 7 furlong, good to firm. It was a top weight in a 59.80, and this is a 62.87, slightly better. And it was easy trip, and it was rear and stayed on. So and the final race was this Doncaster on the 7th of the 9th, handicap 8 furlongs. So it's the first time it's tried a mile, and it actually won that. It was a 62.82. Easy trip, but it started to flail at the end, and that's not a good sign. So And we'll talk about that in a minute. So that's the context of XJ Rascal. Its main rival, if you like, is this Star Player number 2, and that's had 4 runs, 3 runs to get its mark. Lingfield on the all-weather 7 furlong, model 97. Rear rail easy trip, and then it went to Epsom, which is very quick, 7 furlongs, 100, model 100, one of the quickest 7 furlongs in the game. And it had speed and ran on, which is exactly what you're looking for in Yarmouth 8. And that was the winner was rated 80 there, so it was a reasonable race. And then it went to Redcar, 7 furlong, good to firm. That's model 98. That's quick as well, and it was seriously sweating, that horse, and didn't run accordingly. But that's his 3rd run. You want to be wary of 3rd runs, because that sort of puts the cap on its handicap mark. Then it was gelded after that, and then it went out to Epsom again, which is, as we said, 7 furlongs, very fast, modelled 100. That was a 64.72. It was the top weight in that handicap, and the second was only rated 66, but it showed tremendous speed, that horse. Now that's exactly what we're looking for. Now, so we're having a go at Star Player basically. And if you look on the breeding, it's ideally suited to a mile. It looks like a miler when you look at the replays. So we've got £2 per £8 unit on it. We managed to get 11 to 4, which is 2.7 to 7.5, 2 3/4. We've got exposure of 0.25 of a unit. We're not going to put any more on it. We're not going to top it up because the odds are relatively low for us. Nearly 3 to 1, but there's only 3 in the race, so we can justify those odds. And the final horse to look at is Twilight Guest, number 3. Twilight Guest has been it's been at Yarmouth all the way really. 7 furlongs, 6 furlongs at Yarmouth. Now the first race it went out in was won by Naval Power, which is rated 111. That's particularly good, but this horse was out with the washing. It was eased, and then it was rear and eased in the next Yarmouth race, and 6 furlongs, the 3rd Yarmouth race, basically was won by a 90. So that was fairly decent, but it was nowhere. So we think that horse was pretty much gamed for its handicap mark. But even so, it then went to Yarmouth on its 4th run. On the 13th of September, which is a day or so ago, so it's come out quickly, and that was a 61.70, and it was near bottom weight, and it was basically won by 61. Now a 61 is a pretty low rated horse, so there's no strength in depth there on the horse, and the horse just looks like a big sort of one-paced horse that was going to need more time and may end up going hurdling probably, looking at it. So that's where we are for that one. So Twilight Guest, unless something peculiar happens and it massively improves, it's unlikely to have the speed over the Yarmouth straight mile. So basically it's a straight toss-up between this XJ Rascal and Star Player, and we've plumbed for Star Player. You've got the jockey's Harry Burns. It's got a £3 claim, decent jockey, and the reason we like Star Player over XJ Rascal is that XJ Rascal's starting to look a little bit, whilst it won its first try over 8 furlongs, it looks a bit of a flailer towards the end. In other words, it's sort of flopping about, and it doesn't look to have the resolution, whereas Star Player is a real resolute horse, and it's been galloping at high pace at Epsom, which is one of the fastest 7 furlongs in the country. So it's going to find 7 mile at Yarmouth a lot easier to contend with, and it's got that finishing kick. So hopefully we'll break this losing run with this horse, but we've bet it accordingly using risk return criteria. So that's where we are. If you subscribe, thank you very much, and welcome to anybody new. And generally, we're going to get out of this dirge period very shortly, I'm sure, and push the account forward. So anyway, thanks for watching, and goodbye.